Sherry and I, just because it's a conspiracy theory doesn't mean that we're wrong. Amazon, Alexa, those little dots, are they listening in? One lawsuit seems to think so, and on kids. Welcome back to the program, legal expert Amos Waranch. Amos, always great to have you on in Memphis. Welcome back. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thanks for asking. Thanks for having me on.
Well, I thought, last week when you had filled in for Wendy Patrick, we thought, I guess he's one and done. But no, son of a gun, we got you 2 weeks in a row, and I couldn't be more excited. Let's talk about Amazon and these Echo Dots and Alexa, this lawsuit. What is it contending?
Well, the lawsuit contends in California and Washington State, the two states where the lawsuit was filed, they are both two-party consent states, which means to record someone, you have to have both the recorder and the recordee consent to the recording. And the lawsuits allege that the Amazon Alexa program is recording children without their parents' consent. But it's important to understand for your listeners, what Amazon is doing is different. As plaintiffs allege in their complaint, unlike Apple or Apple Siri or Microsoft's Cortana, which those two programs take the words that you say to them, transcribe them into a digital format, send them to the servers, which queries their servers and sends the answer back to your phone or your computer. Unlike that, what Amazon is doing is they are taking your actual voice print. They're saving your actual voice indefinitely, in perpetuity, in their servers, because they're trying to make a voice print of you so they can gather your data more strongly if you use Alexa-enabled devices in places other than your own home or your own car.
Wow. And now we had seen stories where I guess technicians, or for lack of a better word, technicians were going through perhaps hundreds, maybe thousands of samples on a daily basis to AirFinger's, quote, analyze voice quality. Is that something that you've heard?
That's I heard you were about to say, is that true? And the answer is, as far as I could tell, as alleged in the plaintiff's complaint.
Yes.
So there has not been discovery or witnesses, evidence put forth to this. But as alleged in the plaintiff's complaint, the people who filed the lawsuit say that that's exactly what's going on. What
are they seeking in this lawsuit?
Well, one of the things that they're looking for is an injunction. They did ask for money, but I don't believe money is the primary motivating factor of the plaintiffs who filed the case. I think what they're really looking for is an injunction that will prevent the Amazon from continuing the practice that I described a minute ago, holding on to the voice print.
Okay. All right. Amos Waranch joining us on Memphis Morning News. It goes back, and maybe you can just talk about this just a little bit. It goes back to, it seems like we risk, for the exchange of convenience, it seems like there's always some sort of an exchange for convenience. We seem to maybe relinquish a little bit of security, or a little bit of security, or a little bit of privacy. Does that seem like that's a theme in a lot of technology?
Yes, it does. And, this is especially concerning from a legal perspective when considering the Fourth Amendment, your right to be free from unreasonable search and seizures, because the government, which, the lawsuit has nothing to do with the government. The lawsuit against Amazon is against Amazon by a private citizen. But the government has a long track record over many years of leaning on companies like Amazon, and I mean, way before that, Southwestern Bell Telephone and things like that, to provide them with information that they gather about communications on their networks. And, when a company that's as massive and large as Amazon holds the data on, hundreds and hundreds, millions and millions of people, kids, talking about all kinds of very private information, the concern becomes that the government will eventually be able to access it and use it for purposes for which it was not intended. People say really private things to their Alexa-enabled devices. Hey, Alexa, what are the symptoms of depression?
Yeah.
I don't want my state, or frankly, I don't want Amazon either, but people consent to it when they put it in their homes. I don't want the state to have access to all of my web searches that I do through Alexa. And I think that that's something that, as you correctly pointed out, is a privacy concern, a Fourth Amendment concern, in my view at least.
Yeah, search and seizure, yes. And heaven forbid if someone was having an intimate relationship with someone named Alexa and they had an Alexa in the room. we won't even go there today, Brother Amos. Let me tell you, we better not go that in this hour. Amos Warwick, thank you for joining us on Memphis Morning News. I have crazy thoughts going through my mind. I better go to break here. Have a fantastic weekend, my friend.